There we go, finally! I've been trying to record this once already, and that went to fucking shit. But anyways, that aside, before that, I was trying to go out and try to find a place outside to record, but I couldn't find a place where I didn't just end up looking like a fucking pedophile, so I just went inside. On the topic of pedophiles, about the whole fucking YouTuber pedophiles thing. Honestly, what the fuck? What the fuck? Just I can't believe that's even a thing. That people are just going out saying that, oh, it's entirely, completely fine to be a pedophile. Look, kids can consent and shit. Look, I'm gonna go through this fast, cause it's not the main topic of the video, but it's fucked up, okay? Yeah, but that's more or less it. I just think it's fucked up. No, kids can't consent. They can't. Trust me, I did shitloads of things as a kid that I wouldn't do now. Believe me. If I did sex when I was a kid, oh man. Oh man. But moving forward, about also there was a play featuring Trump as Caesar. I think they're all within their rights to have that character based on Trump, their interpretation of Caesar. Even so, I think there might have been like social justice warrior types, because hey, you don't do that these days. But then again, it's been done with Obama before, previously, and I don't really see anything wrong with it, because in the end, while it is an on-stage assassination, yes, it is assassination of the protagonist, the hero of the play. Hence, it's an assassination that leads to bad things. Well, they could have had a villain main character, but really in the context of the play, it really doesn't work. So it's really more putting Trump on a pedestal, more than anything. But now, finally, the proper topic. The proper topic of this video is, in fact, believe it or not, 2 seconds. The main topic of this video is the issue of. There we go. Pardon. Sorry about that. Is the issue of self-interest or egoism, or well, rather, the Weber interpretation or the Smith interpretation, and on top of that, what do I consider self-interest? Because I've been actually thinking about this for a long while. In the beginning, I was thinking more of Kant's, more or less, egoism is more or less in everything. But I've actually been beginning to see that it's more self-interest rather than egoism. So it's not egotistical, it's self-interest based. For example, when you pick up a wallet that somebody's forgotten, then hey, that's out of self-interest, because maybe you get a reward, or maybe you just want to be on good terms with other people, because hey, it's really good, you don't know who owns that wallet. Or alternatively, take it, which is a direct self-interest thing. Meaning you benefit directly from it, and you don't leave it up in anyone else's hands. Just take what you want, take what you need. Not necessarily bad all the time, but it's usually the one that leads to the more egotistical way out of things. Indirect would be the former I mentioned, not the latter, which would be then giving the wallet back, maybe at the prospect of thinking you will get a reward or not, just to get on good terms. Whether it be hoping for a reward or just being on good terms and knowing that either way you don't want to piss off people. You don't want to piss off people because that's bad in of itself usually. Anyways, that is an indirect self-interest move to do. But that's sort of my interpretation of the whole discussion too, because unlike Weber, I don't think it's ultimately egotistical and thus bad, the self-interest, nor do I think, as Smith did, that egotism more or less makes the market go round and thus improves the world and this and that. Well, okay, Smith's view, Adam Smith, who was one of the foundational members of, well, one of the, he was a Scottish moral philosopher, and shit, I do believe, yep. Who more or less ended up being the father of the economists studies. Since I've been going to business school for the last few months, about half year, I've been learning a lot about him, and with that, also the prospect of self-interest, and sort of philosophical quandaries about these sort of things. Now, that also led me to think about self-interest in terms of being whether it is ultimately good or bad. And with that, I came up with more or less this thought, this theory, well, theory, that you have direct self, direct self-interest and indirect self-interest, more or less. One is the sort of manipulator move, the other is the sort of brutish move. You sort of push people out of the way to take what you want. The other one is more or less getting people to give you what you want, or alternatively, hoping to get what you want by influencing other people in a positive way. Now, that's sort of, yeah, it might sound like it's three different ways, but one of them more or less depends on other people, the other one just depends on you. Also, one of them has a focus around you yourself and what's best for you, the other one has a more of a prospect of what's best maybe for the human race, of which you are a member, of course, or say what's best for a group you're part of. So there's many ways it can pan out, but the main point is that one focuses on the benefits of the money, one focuses on the benefits of you. We could get into like ethics discussions, but if any of you feel like that, we can get into it later, at a later time. But as is, I think I'll just wrap it up with the self-interest. Yeah, but then I'm just gonna wrap up more or less Weber's and Smith's viewpoints, to where Smith essentially thought that the self-interest, that is, was essentially good. It kept the market going. You can look more into Adam Smith. He's amazing, more or less. Amazing ideas. Also, Weber, to where I don't think Weber necessarily was correct either, like Smith, to where he more or less called it somewhat essentially evil, and that one should be more meager when going towards these things. In when dealing with, say, when dealing with capitalism. That's I think more or less it on self-interest. Before I go, I would just like to tell you guys that I'm on Minds. Also, I would like to encourage you to look at a more or less weekendly stream that I'm part of with Nuckelavee. I'll leave links in the description. Also, before I forget it, not get it, I have gotten a shitposting channel where I will be posting anything from Vaporwave to streams, just live streams of like the swamp, to gameplay. I don't know, anything at all. It's shitposting, you know. That's I think more or less it. Also, I would like to introduce my new little avatar, my new avatar, known as Noise Pastafarier, aka, well, he's based on the Knights Hospitalier, so take it away.
Deus Vult, Deus Vult, Deus Vult, Deus Vult, Deus Vult, Deus Vult, Deus Vult.